our final speaker today is a woman who needs no introduction in this room, for sure. Representative Teresa Tanzi, who was the lead sponsor of the bill in the House and who worked on this bill for several years and made it very clear that she was not going to stop until we had a law. So please join me in welcoming Representative Teresa Tanzi.
I officially have goosebumps. Thank you. Thank you to the governor for taking time today to celebrate the passage of the Protect Rhode Island Families Act, legislation that I was proud to sponsor. Thanks as well to the survivors and advocates who are with us in the room today and whose tireless work made it all possible. Today we can be proud that we're passing a law that will help protect families by keeping guns out of the hands of domestic abusers. The intersection of guns and domestic violence is a deadly one. Every month, 50 women are shot and killed in the United States by a current or former boyfriend or spouse. People with a history of committing domestic violence are 5 times more likely to subsequently murder an intimate partner when a firearm is in the house. Research showed us that the current system in Rhode Island was failing to protect those who have asked for our help, even in cases where written records provided evidence of a firearm threat. Courts ordered the abusers to turn in their guns just 13% of the time. But we know that common sense gun laws like the Protect Rhode Island Families Act will protect domestic violence victims and save lives. Cities and states that have passed similar laws saw a 25% reduction in intimate partner homicides, gun homicides. Today it is fitting to think of our state motto, hope. And Jennifer Boylan, who was one of the main moms from Moms Demand Action, and a community leader who worked tirelessly on this bill, said it well earlier this year. She said, "Hope is the light that keeps us going in the direst of times. And for victims of domestic abuse, hope is everything." Let this be the year the state I love passes this common sense law and lives up to our legacy of providing a safe harbor for those who need it most. We owe domestic violence victims hope and so much more. I'm proud to stand with you today during Domestic Violence Awareness Month as we pass a law that will protect Rhode Island families. And I want to thank you. There's so many in this room to thank. But I want to start with Speaker Mattiello. I spent hours and hours and weeks and years working with the Speaker on this bill, and it has been a tremendous experience for me, and I just want to thank him so much for his leadership on this, as well as Leader Shekarchi. And the Senate sponsor, we might call him the yin to my yang, Senator Metz. We were a perfect match, I think, for this. And our styles and our work just blended so well together. So I just want to thank you so much for that, Senator. And then there's Senate leadership, as well as Chairwoman Lynch Prada, for your hard work in reconciling this bill to make it possible. Of course, my co-sponsors, Rep. Regenberg, Carson, Fogarty, Ruggiero, and Maldonado, and Rep. Amore, who fought this battle before me and then alongside me. And then for their efforts in committee, I want to thank Reps. Agello, Knight, McEntee, and Shanley for going the extra mile in those hours and hours of testimony and really being there and being present during the very long evenings that we all spent here. Thank you to Governor Raimondo for your ongoing support, for signing this bill, and for standing with us today. And then there's the advocates. people who I've gotten to know so well over these years and who I value and hold very dear. I want to thank the Rhode Island chapter of Moms Demand Action and Everytown for Gun Safety, the Rhode Island Coalition Against Domestic Violence, the Rhode Island Coalition Against Gun Violence, as well as the faith leaders. I see all the law enforcement that's standing there with us today and with us all along. I want to thank the mayors who came out and testified year after year in support of this and who elevated this issue and continue to work every day to protect Rhode Islanders across our state. Finally, and most importantly, I want to say thank you to the survivors. Thank you for courageously testifying and sharing your stories time and again. This wasn't just once that you had to open yourselves up and pour yourselves out for all to see. Thank you for never giving up hope. And if there's ever a day in your future that you find yourself questioning whether you have the strength to get up, to face the day, or face the world, I want you to close your eyes and think back to this day, to this moment and this room, and I want you to remember all of the love and the joy and the support that's in here right now that you helped to create. We never could have done this without your bravery, and for that I am eternally grateful. Thank you.